so kwame hana me interest wo tie
regional financial control
Cheddar kayo taja nam say one win in the avade no organ serious Cheddar
12 points in
tell you 12 pillars or she share in such a way say if as okumuya 16 pillars actually because every region biano Cheddar campaign team no who the very strength of that particular region what they can do and Cheddar also propose the region must have some control over that particular resource if free hoba
nanye populism
Cheddar no I think it's a careful thinking kwa better than that if I so be any obi resources so our memu how koko nyina every hifa pa neba western mebwa and then I was in for koko mu muna muta akota krade masa uko takrado me no na kaze ho shiri gedebeze oje ho anan gomode yede una akota krade e dia de pa na takrade fu nya koko mu fa habo no twenchen
Western region upper region oma kwanye pa Western region
region be pa ne produce gold
Ashanti region
impase me boss kadwani e ba ikra sana Ghana eba etino e dey na chesa Ashanti ye leading producer of gold in this country e dey na Ashanti nye free Ghana mu say ye consistent producer of gold for over 100 years e fa pa na eme everyba bron e dey na bron for say ya hafu say ye bunu say ye half north south e dey pa no monye say obiara resource a man no you pull it together the concrete no obiara nya wo hwe chan kwa and gradually especially in this fourth republic adventure Accra has become so ungrateful to almost both parties every year. We are managing so many this year, saying this big fear market on the wall. Greater Accra will play a very pivotal role because they are never satisfied with anything. Meanwhile, so we pono any fish na in every Accra. Catch me resource base and maintain in Miami boy at Timid Kwaman on the Kodiscaban. Imundi in your friend crying. Budgeting, sa and we say. So say, time to have a national dialogue. And I'm effective decentralization to unleash regional financial control and development as agreed upon and enshrined in our independence constitution, which was then jettisoned in 1958. In 1958, say independent constitution, you know who did it. I don't know conform passive body no. Conform kwame nkrumah and the base 1958 constitution tonchen and on church and dia or to me combining the powers of Abai and the powers of the state into one person. Until kwame nkrumah time no na sa subani ehun bi wada. Because abrofo yi ba ye nyina no omo ne che ne pe. In fact omo start parliament ya no mo fire oman no and omo de Abai no ma Ghana for politicians. So Nkrumah was a prime minister as far back as 1951 leading a government delegation, a government elected by the people, for the people, and from the people to the people. But Abai was not for Kwame Nkrumah's government at the time. Nabroche hima na Abai ni dia. Minim 1958 constitution, we are boss we be BSA constitution will be me kwa confirm my film. No matter say no musi faction because to me say it has some better thinking than all the other ones about actually.
Minimum so we deal. Okay.
Was this hard na ye kan kran? Kenya ebi. Kenya to the first independent constitution to tune. Na say ya eno obi remind them say constitution after first independence then they nyina no selfish ones. Nipa obetna so no header ya no pass original crop for above all the others. And then go back to what the abrofo no nye ni omina trans draft here as an independence. Now Kenya is on south fitting or more political geopolitical say Kenya is experiencing with like a better and sounder government experiment compared to what we're having here in Ghana. Kwame, we will have to have this dialogue whether we like it or yes at some point in our lifetime. Right now,
achievable. We achieve because of because the Western powers me Kwame Nkrumah was na because of the Western powers minim se utie enra President Mahama because a fit into a conversation.
Okay, all right.
But I was just reading, US farmers are beginning to complain because USAID was the biggest mopper of excess food for food aid to Africa. And USAID is not doing the auctions that mops up the excess US food. And so the US farmers are complaining. But it's an opportunity for Africa to increase food production. And so if that aid stops coming, we would do the investments that are necessary to make our farmers more productive so that we can establish food security in Africa instead of waiting for those US aid handouts to come.
Thank you. There was a number,
The drivers of poverty do not only have to do with capital and trade, but we shouldn't forget the issue of climate change. A lot of what is happening in the Sahel that is affecting people's livelihoods is climate change. Unfortunately, Africa is facing the most adverse impact of it, even though it contributed the least to it. And so the Lake Chad has shrunk to 20 times smaller than it used to be. All the families that depended on the Lake Chad for their livelihoods have become displaced, and they're migrating southwards into the coastal countries. That is leading to clashes between herders and agriculturists. It's a more complex situation than just being able to trade and where capital comes from. But I believe that we must build resilience, and that's where the private sector comes in. We before had believed in state-led development. I think that increasingly the African private sector is leapfrogging with the new technologies, with digitalization and all that. And we must open that space for them to be able to drive economic progress. And so you're right.
So
US farmers are beginning to complain because USAID was the biggest mopper of excess food for food aid to Africa. And USAID is not doing the auctions that mops up the excess US food. And so the US...
All right. May I want to...
I was just reading. US farmers are beginning to complain because USAID was the biggest mopper of excess food for food aid to Africa. And USAID is not doing the auctions that mops up the excess US food. And so the US farmers are complaining. But it's an opportunity for Africa to increase food production. And so if that aid stops coming, we would do the investments that are necessary to make our farmers more productive so that we can establish food security in Africa instead of waiting for those US aid handouts to come.
All right. So your options. Yeah, options in any say, baby, Drew. Do you think, Mamma,
Nana, Meduso,
Bibi, I fine. Okay, what the BRICS deal, what advocate TTR for BRICS near the other, say who he has say be at BRICS. Do you think President Mahama is talking about BRICS? Uti any inaugural speech, you know? And some are no can no person say countries now it depending on European countries, you know, now my economy no near me papa. But baby to say Russia, China, economy no reboost and near me at the maomo. Next person say you know Africa or say try ni kakra na ekoshe baby fufro. Your options say USAID and they say or USA cutting aid to countries to say African countries to say Ghana. Your option.
No, in fact, you were more than option. You were control. Now, a untapped ability African Kasana as an exploit. Now, already in Africa, bro. And our continents that we are seeing, no doubt, say Africa, you're not natural resources, palm. You will be ten continents, I can.
Dr. Ebo, you want to come in common. No futabraba.
No futabraba.
Africa, no futabraba. We are seeing no man, no good to us.
And then I said, what was that?
No futabraba. There be no.
No, I'm sure but him Jesus.
I say no for now. I said no for Tabram.
He didn't know when I'm saying Papa.
95.7. Nana, say, and go share pa year. And goes Africa na other continents a bobusian free ho. Thank you, Shania can ye pa. cause ade bia wiase hia ede bobra ede dijuma elipa dasani asetenam bibia ye hia bia no Africa na wone kese e wone dodo but on say ye no ye fa na say slavery china ankasa no na abrofo beto share bibima so a wo mo befa de wo mo befa koyi abibima intimi mfiri mu enyina independently on itself say Africa continent ankasa no enti ayese obi ahwe ase no ntimi nsore no oda so da ho but enke braso say Africa ankasa no nka wosi ya ye ho adwuma ya sole afiri ahwe ase mu dadaada na de ntini e kasa Africa was alternative and was Africa it depending on the western world and sana ya make it means nti say no ye dua ye no ba nyina wie na sa afi no mu no akwasi buru ni club adwuma yiku bi anasa ban bi amane abibifo ama medidwa ye niema ye nya nyina no farm produce ni nyina no ebe say me Ghana for instance and enya Ghana nko.
So we are producing because of the western world.
Yeah. And we farm produce to China. Mineral resources are what Africa no. E come here say Africans in who near yemfa mineral resources in ye continent him.
Bisine.
Gold, diamond, bauxite. And I go Dr. Congo.
DR Congo.
Go DR Congo. Ye can't go to
the most resourced
African country power what natural resources
gold, diamond,
mineral
lithium,
resources cobalt
and no kind of cobalt
95.7 laptops CC anyway electric gadgets ni nyina no enema edi ye nyina na just one phones are use nyina omo ho na free ba enti saa niema we nyina no na edi ne ede ye ase kwasiburo ni amamu a most of these countries in Africa no companies say to say good you know western world abrofo companies in
all African countries most all ebia Morocco na nka
US no mo so mo kate e gold nya na mo na sisa
no mo England
Canada Australia US UK I say omo na afa African mineral resources no omo na hold the chunk of it no omo dia the dictate say African countries no yen companies no we kra nye state no we no nye countries no company back up and the dictate say wo Africa country na gold no asase no me na wo percentage
no asa ma otuo onkrofo no wa onkrofo kaso mukotu a ko mo
na baby so minerals ne wo no eho ye no go area onya djuma wo ho a untimi ma ho oya minister untimi ma ho president kra je so no mo din command san no asi asase ne so but asase ne yo man no asase hwe petroleum fangu pa ko he Nigeria fangu eta Nigeria na ye kan o man yanka eni wo se ne ho kire no petroleum resources on kwa keke nkwa no ga Nigeria because mo bo abrofo bosia but petroleum resources are what Africa nei no na ye hunu de ye
nim
ye asa ye nim petrol no ye nim de ye betumi anya firi mu
ye de nim ye de
ndiye ye tu petrol na abrofo no de ko edama so am yenye petrol na yenye petrol na yetu ni asa akwa akoto
the petrol yenye yetu abrofo na na setu Cosmos enye Ghana company
talo no
talo enye Ghana company
enye Ghana enko
kwa ba ya bibifo na ye watchman ni ade engineer fo na ade na ya abrofo osre kotakra de na ko haisie tatakra de dem ade azie bibi ni o tse me ko shepo no so be 3 months akwa ma oba na katua so ne ma me na o ko fi na so won kon 70,000 and for so 70,000 for see you usu small boy onya hwia o sa as a devil assistant kwa me 3 weeks so okopo no so 3 weeks no pay ba say ya which was 3 weeks no Otakrade. Enya Ghana government itianika. Talo enye dia Cosmos nye dia. Twaso.
Nana. Enti uhwe baby anka Africa babeduna. Osenka alliance bia international relations. Ye tu ho anamon no. Enka wo se ye tu anamon se wo se nya oman a omo bedwene abibima ho. Na wo ma adwene no nye se omo beteki undue advantage of ye lapses in our system.
But omo ankasa be assist ye na ankasa ya make good use of ye resources no ye training crofo na crofo take over. Na omo nye se oba be take ni nyina na emum obema the needed your friend is saying support
whether technical whether it's a expertise or say a knowledge gap or no at the same one neighbor now what they ban anytime the wo the manantino wo na wo in control
Russia the bit my sir
when a man phobi I can say BRICS no and no ebe fully in the interest of Africa.
Chief from Bacho BRICS abbreviations for Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa.
India
India wom dada.
And the amount be one man BRICS no. Amount be one man. Omo say US for no UK for no. Omo almost as one person omo di wiase fa.
Omo jiafa.
Na bibia e free wiase no. Omo no enkan ya wontimi nye. Omo kasa nya onye the amount say Russia and China ehunu say enu o say wiase US for ni UK for ni diso nti omo nso no omo mpene so e basika samo ntoto ya economy no omo kom ho abom no omo nso ate omo ho say yen nso no ye hunu say ye wo niam US for ni UK for no mo dan yen enu o say ye nkwada small boys hihye mo ahisa nananka everywhere USAID ese ono ne mamu no ohwa e was all my interest but first America first say Trump sa no kan make America great again maga no e Putin America first
the America onkukuru ni sika amfa emro biem or they heard the American people
what you say in the name of USAID no on tam $43 million enkosi gas filling station ba akopɛ wa Afghanistan ewa breko ankasa $43 million betimi asisa gas filling station na edu ewo US asase so omu hunu sika seye
yeah menani adwin
watwam
metwam
on time sika nko Jamaica so ko promote LGBTQI in the name of USAID enye sa ade no but any ntina USAID buy
95.7
from petrol
on time and uches ade no so omoye na ni nyina ya traditional countries nko okokoso basabasa wo sankronum because traditionally some countries you know omo hia sa de no
ni wa wo aid no msika no de
aid in the name of say e support to country no e ko establish institutions afa nkrofo adwuma tu omo ka $1 million say omo nko promote gay e wo Vietnam
omo nko change omo values omo cultural values
South Africa
yeah
problem all in the name of USA
then Ramalanda inya ye mai ni go petrol enu ti wo de we say sikaba abra obi aso nyana so petrol obi aso
and in the name of USA oba Ghana na ka wo hye niam Ghana ha ye hia nanka in the name of aid no wa ba beboa na de yetine say I was a brewe mu no anka BBC akwache no Africans international Europe ye play say ye nimu a ewiase enso bekwa ahokyire mu ye den
say ye nimu a they said a COVID by say ye niwa dia na ye nso ye betimi aya ye nso ye benya benefits e dey free so
sana de ne tie
ye wo the lands the vegetation the natural resources na nkasa we are seeing depend on as say we are seeing here they need our gold, they need our timber, they need our cocoa near the ade as and supply omo a be din so omo benya sa na ema ni bi ba omo be fa no kwa e wa ha
on say nana ente kra be say 2 years ni Ghana ne Cote d'Ivoire kan ho boom say dabi eba cocoa say ye produce cocoa aman mienu we wiase ye na ye lead Ghana Cote d'Ivoire na ye mienu ene ye da number 1 and 2 leading producers of cocoa ewo wiase until the world market cannot survive without Ghana and Cote d'Ivoire when it comes to cocoa production. Ntia no yan kamum ni dictate price ma ewiase na anya possible eba possible enti gasabre na ECOWAS no ke ECOWAS ya kaye kwa kwadwene the economic state of Africa ho ankasa say everywhere no looking at the trend say ebia America so no or putting interest first, and in doing so no Africa will be affected ultimately directly or indirectly, and when you direct hit ankasa because they say no who HIV antiretrovirus no wo train no USA dinana na famuba malaria treatment one prevention mosquito net crampo no USA na baba supply man ansa na nya bi
na first condom na dinka by champion okay champion condom no mo na de by
na be chemai
95.7
empire nya hwe there's a nini hwam o man perfume
and best a 90-day freezer ebia President Donald Trump no or yet the abebo ne man enya wo hu no odwene
yeah so no ne camp o ye
or yet the abebo ne man and wo nso no e kan we na die na wo ye na nanke nyina ye hia dabi se BRICS ne na beboa abibimanya and why don't we channel energy day e dey me hono me ntiase because you will be honoma or say China is not interested in taking advantage of all resources. On only the
on business. On no business.
Yeah, business.
There now. Me so we na me. But on no me kan kire we say just a oje sa kind of culture we to man san mama aid. And now me know a business.
Enya no na hia no. And is a momo or mineral resources are. Any men so no me wasika me de be mamo sa no na mumu hu ne se mo de be ba jiska na mo famra
kwaku ma me fa kakra we de kwaku kan kwame say sorry in the last 100 years obwase man 1897 bon patriotic 2025 near exactly how many years it's about 120 something years kwame in the last over 100 years England for and Canada for and now South Africa for abesha boase o mo di boase asase ya si nyina mana yetonu senka Russia for ene wo boase no muni di gold dwa samri enka wo free eye Santas roundabout e ko boase e ho nyina ye metropolis na me ko boase last week Sunday
95.7
still na yumuram kwan yeah en ko ta all right but wo kwa ampampa se obi sesi German for bi ba na omoma hada no moko eji no me see golden tulip and then according to them na city hotel na say omunya rent a car ni bi na do omu free ha e call boase on the way omu do anyan kwanta they call back in Accra say please you said we're going to Obuasi the gold area. Yeah, the way we are going and the road we are on, I don't think we are going to the gold area. Because he was shocked. I'm going to a world leading producer of gold, the very place, the very city in Africa, in the world. Then
okay, then
Ghana had been a world producer of gold for a long time. Na say na nkofo be say o. The crisis South Africa for na say Russia for ka train kwa e ko airport a say ye no boase. Oboase ni airport ku si airport si Cape Coast. Cape Coast o de kofa ko bi na zo de kwa kofa e ka say nchine na omutu no kwana no. Nkomo bi wa adwene ho awon tiase. Komo ye ni nyina. Ye ni England for, USA for, South Africa for, ni Canada for, tu ye gold proof ye wa. Ode wo nipa wo tie no on Sunday ade ba ko hu say ade we senye gold e ifro mamu ha ka de we nkini o mamu omo ba ko din.
All right, yenhwe we history ho ya bekin kan bi say countries bi ni mo ho a omo leaders sorry ya omo champions sa agenda yi no sa mampany for na survive our system num. Talk about Zimbabwe, talk about
Patrice Lumumba, our own uncle Mugabe, Gaddafi, Kwame Nkrumah, Jomo Kenyatta, the Winyan Hudi, on Ejikano Bruni Krasen before Mandela and Sankara of
Thomas Sankara.
Yes, Burkina Faso. And who again? Ghana cry. Run somebody no channel.
So I am komo na yedi. Ti say nkoma President Mahama akudi. Asema ye kan. Ye nyina nim say eno ne the solution. President Mahama nim. Ghana fo nyina nim say no na ye the solution. But the implementation, this is not the first time we are talking about this. John Mahama is not the first president to talk about this issue.
Everybody say Ghana beyond aid.
That is it. Ghana beyond aid. Young Koju OBS Africa, where near me develop or minor mana. What happened? A dream maybe na IMF, Nanado na IMF no diwi. Enti dear kwamben na ye befa so say ye ka te say de ye tin kwasumu no ne akyekire yensa. Na yinim say ekwan we ne betimi afiri ye ho ba se de aduane beto na se de key eto a key na ye di bie ye prison ne de afiri mu ne yemfa ne afa aduane ne ye key no ene da so da prison num na ye didi
exactly
ena key no eda ho enti why ne betimi afa key no no bie because it takes obia oye na dream say o pese sound mind and it's not easy. You know say it's not easy to do that. And do you think say asema President Mahama can sabri and yes our talks na bia or be implemented am yet media year juma ewa ha ente bia bon so mo beba ente bia bon say US Germany o we ne ade as bilateral talks no ya kosia ne trans ne abon komo ade ente no na enema
anopa ya gromodin komo Germany.
At the end of the day, the approach has been wrong. So, one person throw who flew be one. I just say, Odo Honko Bata will be or yet an equal competitor to
or even stronger.
Or even stronger. And they say, baby, economically, US who is China and a competitor.
China is the leading one. They don't want to admit.
Who is now Crampono? China, make some leaders be over US.
Who say China take over Africa?
Industry.
And who say China buy Africa? China is successful. So the antenna say China be successful country. More resources in our China. And the aid you know or the more aid.
And the at the end say, I was say, it's a fight when you bet me I was say he does here ko batter China. Near China to an amount. Because Africa alone cannot fight Western powers and not there. Because as at now, that's what do so.
I bet Mamindi Fakakra. I mean, question now is first question is first answer is no. President Mahama cannot do the change that he's talking about. I go for Ghana beyond it. Oh no, when to me and your walk on 8 bag and I didn't name any gumu echo fee. 8 year we from no, yet me and from Yeshabag team and on my bonopo and that was as my President Mahama as a person. The very personal, what can you describe it? Because they brought to me a leak of Singapore. This was more or less in our lifetime. 70s, 50s, me and I you will be a UT and what Malaysia, Mahatma bin Mahathir as one Prime Minister, or Kofi cried 80 years, almost half of our Prime Minister. Malaysia changed their fortunes after Ghana gained independence. Singapore changed their fortunes after Ghana gained independence. In fact, as at 1957, not Ghana's economic standing, Malaysia was a third world country. Singapore was a third world country. It took Lee Kuan Yew. Now who Lee Kuan Yew? Why say Dr. Machi? Nina sworn in Kamekaze. Oh, I thought of that much. They just said, lawyer and Sabbath, we associate Lee News. Onya Beme Bia, Zekutimijina, Kennedy, knew when him Kakao Nadrian home. But he did. He was able to take Singapore from the doldrums. Now, Singapore is a first world country. Dubai was a desert in the 80s. And then na desert go Dubai when they go Dubai in the 80s go Dubai chibia go Mecca was me found my obi there fine I said go Dubai proper there and just about 20-30 years ago na go for the manage Dubai even China as at 2000 the year 2000 China be in the doors who China flag game BNY na China baby Olympic Games, then games. On fan who knew everything about China. When they were developing China, they closed the borders of China, only China. Until by the time who say China or it was a first world country already. Today, China is still a shining example of a. Look, what can I say? Africa, you to me. You bet me.
I don't know, but who is the leader? Yes. Lincoln, you are born in this year. Or the speech, the famous speech, our year, and son, or more go into the revolution. Or catch it almost say, such in a lot of you lose your freedom.
Of course, yeah.
And now, Ghanaians, you ready. Says, ya cut it, is a perfume rice, I cried by young crabby. Was he a coat to your local rice? Because I don't know why. Now ya my farmer said develop more back at any rice I eat you cut it will be a as or man for no. Are we ready for such a
leader? It just takes a leader. So leader the ba was a mono o kraba ye becho now ye bema o da kwakra mon nyencho
nyentu yentu obenti
oh ne o yentu ko bewu na so no ye bia yenu so yentu no na say enu so won free mu no na atumia oh that's tell you ko nyu so can say oh omo didi ne manim nya obi na obetra ho da de but so ka say e betumi ntimi nya ho hwede a e de ye nko ba bia enti sa yen modern day politicians here ye grow more in the last 50 years in Africa here I make post independence leaders more crop up anka any question ka President Mahama na Akufo-Addo kra belong to that group but they belong they don't think be can say before independence young people meanwhile these are 70-year-old 80-year-old people they should know better than some of us but they hardly talk about some of these things me just say kasa from President Mahama also we are going to it means that we still don't have any connections connecting the dots afi no by the time unto kwa Africa country na 4 years na aso na okofie
mamema ai lawyer emrem lawyer Godlove Aji Tinkrine or a private legal practitioner and also a lecturer or Presbyterian University Kumasi. Say lawyer, good morning.
Morning, Kwame.
Nempomo kode.
Nyame adumbo komini announce.
Nyame adumbo ni bi.
Nyabo ko sase mada dum so mu amade achi. Na Kwame no ameda ho na mete itu sound o mi area na me me yam shishi baby aso itu.
Eh what yi? What is sikafu?
Anya sikafu baby amete kra mi ntimi kan already.
Afase bo credit feel
o maka
see box 9
BKB ote ya ote also Kumasi baby amete nka Kumasi o Kwame
na true day because of robbery and accident. Okay, say be obi to because of see dum light maybe nkofo be take advantage.
Kwame baby ayetumu
eduza ba obra
Mama kasa asemi yo. Amudo mama hunu.
It's too early.
No mama hunu set timetable down Kwame.
Enra me say ECG at the statement by Electricity Company of Ghana. Let me check.
Okay,
check almost statement now at the buy. No, Electricity Company of Ghana Limited wish to inform our cherished customers and the general public in the Ashanti region that the outage being experienced across some parts of the region is as a result of a technical challenge at Angumaso bulk supply point. ECG wish to assure affected customers that our engineers are working assiduously to rectify the challenge and normalize supply. Okay, ECG regrets the inconvenience caused to the affected customers. It was also Angumaso bulk supply point. There's a challenge there.
And that's the
yes. Since I let you there, many problem. Many problem. I mean, but my problem is they should make sure say it is say bibi na say. But
it is ECG.
O say
when you ECG for you.
O say yat no my mo makika sanse mu ya na nya no kre. O ti ase kwa me. Yat na no makika sanse mu nya nya no kre. Nti no, but it's becoming too much. Edoso dodo, especially Santasi area enclave. Hey, Kwame, I know you. Also, that's a fantastic for ECG for
so one carry your chest on you know
Felix Kwadio Bosuna I in Central Phobia the same the reason being pan and ma Tony General into sa cases or drop a case to so men can't away because NTB attorney general be press conference.
We know Casabete.
Oh yeah, now what one money reasons.
Ozuka chase toka ti ono tin kasa toka ti. Kwame nkomo amodi nyina me ba na miti pa en kwasi ni kwaku mu ne wan kasa kra you have made justice to it but my main can say no credit nyame ni kwame asem no ya na wo kan ye no me Africa problem nyina especially yen part ya Ghana ye wo mu ye ne enuanom Nigeria fo a ye de ntoma bomu a ye ne wan na ekoba no enso mo sori anom yo mo ho se ne a o ma bro mo ya te mo di a na so ma bro che ni Ghana mo mpe
enso mo ma nyina dia dance ze Ghana member
me ma ko ha be say kwame udu
I don't need TikTok.
Kwame udu Mutala Mohammed Airport now ubi wano na kabro fukuru Nigeria need to be baby bisa say are you a Ghanaian? Because I say Ghana is English fine.
Yeah.
Omo ni bre na momo de yesa. Kwame no credit am yenim na waka no. Africa Ghana your problem e timamufu tun me say leaders no wo mo part but timamufu me mo 75% na me the leaders no 15 among Kwame. Sanya na wo bi say o de hwe Pokigami any omo maka omo turn things around.
And Pokigami so edit.
Oh yeah, asema me beka no Kwame.
Ye penetu no.
Kwame, no kreni nyame anim so obetimi aye revolution and aye drastic change wo krom hanoma. You have to be a dictator. Emfa. Na se keti amo na onye ikura. O yesen ko obebane yamade. And then e koso kroma.
The party for na friend ka chenze.
And then e koso kroma. Yeso be good cost of adwuma.
Yeah.
Miwa ya wonkrofo a enyen mmoa okrum ha nke beboa pa ma yankafo na adwuma akoso said na ubi say emui president Ben oso no ordinary presidency beto line for 4 years obi kan bi okrum ha ye wie ekosi say
see okon the 8 bag and a coffee
obi so ordinary presidency to so for galamsey okwo ekosi say if you tell us asem no kan ekra no mining concessions and license on the micro na so chain ya no wa man deda
the times they are so na once chebi for omonya zikadwebi
sa
ran mo za da ko
chebi
tell me who that
zikadwebi ko fi
dada ni ona ze na ebe ho
no credit say we want yan kasa na yeti o man ni mu no yan mboa ye leaders ni so mo fa change brada 4 years na politician all ban no American man is carry campaign American man is carry campaign to no oba no or tied to America in ni trimo where President Mahama kika lip service work kika for media encounter ne is all your communication student nti ono obe communicate busan say obetimi aya na
I don't know who wrote this
and ya President Mahama na catch during campaign time his views about LGBT and aseme no catch
here
I see a person ye values na yenche fin kola no kola brem enti sa time o ye campaign no we nim say a bit match fin kola brem don't trust the Ghanaian politician
exactly
why me see change no look ye fit ya KNUST dan din pa eden kwaku first pan friend say University of Science and Technology
say business
for all this while didn't need any students say attitude mo mutimi ye mining operations okrum ha how betimi operate bigger machines in na say for they be agi say kofa brofo ba Kwame yewo machines bi okrom ha say I de kwa bruche ni akosisi
o da bi na say kwa de say kai domba
de domo ba
say azuka de nye Canadians and Germans and Americans so Syria, Turkey, India, Pakistan
over 60 years
I was surprised you for bonko mom say this year ko fan crofon free abruche na be fix it traffic
yes the University of Science and Technology
Kwame mines asema ye kan kwaku Kapa University your friend say
University of Mines and Technology
almost very no way
na ko home students njuma mu di o age Ashanti go field ko hwe mu duties
oh for ne ba omo a eya yi nyina no so me dear me ne work am for into mine inside ne dear AGA and your friends in Newmont ni ade nyina omo ti kroma no omo na abrofo na aba omo take positions adwuma ne o ni nyina na Ghanaian companies and omo ha omo yes adwuma ne ma omo
Kwame na
eti ade ntia yenye na yenya yenti mean say betimi aye
eti that say ye pese enya Ghanaian company na Ghana for kroma betima tu ye oil na yebenya bi ana
yebenya bi
that is a boapayo ne yemfa mo munye
that is it
okay
say say ufie ewo ho na ufie na abayo no also renovate o nkrofo o architects ene nkrofo ho betimi ahwe ne aye ne kama de ama wo ba wo na ye di abusuapani ama wo no upe bi adi enti ukofo obi if US or bawa no if US aba say if you make me renovate you na me renovate asika no ebia ye $10,000 ebia wo die ebia 500 ono ahwe entwobo kakra obenya di wo ho no na odi amabroni no no tifie osore a ne aye adwuma ne de kakra bia beto no proso no odi ba ni refi sese nkode ma ono an nkrofo no mo ye adwuma na benefits anke beba no enke be ye higher and bigger than ono ne kakra bi na de abeto ni table so a odi no.
Sa selfishness no kwame any leaders in nkwamu timamfo no cry selfish.
That is it. And now there is a see o can cry say obi Ghana ni wo yonko Ghana ni wo nya kwan so ma ko o ye adwuma ne kama wa fa lawyer say ye adwuma ma no kama o ye adwuma kama e wo ha na so obi betimi aka chen say lawyer no ye adwuma ye ne kama but o de me ya legal fee me pe kakra ma enipa na adwuma nye ba obegye wono ne de na wo no adwuma na wo ye no aka che say trebe bi kakra be die enti ye nyina ye hia oman na nkase ye nyina ye hia
I'm telling you me the mentality na nkasa no Ghana for na nkasa hwe na kwasi ka say China ye close economy for how many years? Over 50 years.
Yeah.
Ye be ja to mokruma 4 years cry ye ka say there was a policy obi the bar during another time and say
import substitution
green something say eat what you grow what you eat and eat what you grow or something.
95.7
kwame eno mean say ye be di ye moyi
domestication
enye djuma okruma oh no be catch us say no oni sika no betimi dia koto ne de no o say by force o medi Ghana chocolate me ko no betimi import bi no enti yankasa ne yanya and no politician would want to
no ko any BFia kroma so obie no a onom ayi Ghana nsu
ene nsu a eye popular pa okroma no yes China fo bi na eye konkori
okay
sa hwan me first day me hu ye no na me fo say Chinese product in Tingamento no say o ye no trade here konkoli China for kwame say ahojo enclave gina China for na aje wafa hey ahojo enclave efi true vine ho ebesin kofa cast side o nyina China for
adinkra ai legend be kan kire o say okwa China o moto o mo plane how o mbetime anya o footprint in Africa
yes
we in Africa so ye plan se be ko here
da yan plane ko here fa so ye be nya o sik ye be jibi be from
the problem is sisi atimamfo no susuro hwe na hwe Ghana for say na wo China and Ghana for say na America and Ghana so ye bibi America for sebiti an na Trump ka so the Ghana for ba hwe say na ya no dem nkrofo so mo busuafo ye be pa mo busuafo ba ni pa say na omo China Ghana for say na China for start to go because of education for ko masters PhD free and mom start to go China unless say ye be accept say a sacrifice no we cannot get any change say and sacrifice my boy timu for say penini de share ba na be kwatia enkra na for the good of the country no mama engine tum kwame yeti kroma na cars airborne crofo Adenta Medina highway near your footbridge ye demonstration will be we aden e wadodo meanwhile I am told say there is a bridge in Dubai I found as a tourist bridge and crofo kwa enam to ten yes ka koye ya DBS ya Adenta o say e wadodo nti obetwa kwa anima maka na bono me fa onko akire here tech footbridge na say one say o ma ya etime twa kwan ada ho a still crofo twa kwan anim before the footbridge na crow yes sano ma President Mahama do you even have to put soldiers there and send a nipa daseni ehunu say near president and answer or my person here say ye boy ho ban there will be demonstration opa ma yemfa police for nkoguo see a man microphone twa kwan before the footbridge no mu nyina nyusu footbridge no obeti ne bekoso a amako hene ba ye obeje ne share say minister we oba ye de wonya de kura yeti hede de ye twa ye kwan mu de da no the police for this is the country we are talking about and you tie an opay now ye Ghana ni a busa ho say are you prepared for a change wo nankasa Ghana ni no busa ho say President Mahama anasa akandifo no e ka say ye be call certain direction. For example, I have never been in support of importation of chicken me
of them pem
na je bu say ukọ bunu side ho a hwe poultry farmer ye no ho doma side ne yeti ha no mo de Mauritius me so asa no friend Mauritius en kokofuni ne de ba am sometimes so we na wo anu a otimi say ade am wi de awon die
wo wache was wo wache
but my president Mahama en ka se say wo ka ne oba ne importation of chicken na hwa de say even yedim say 2028 onko biem na hwe party no say ba umi 38 no cry ko benya be 12
lawyer I mean, say around upon this topic, but I still believe in leadership. Why would somebody campaign on a slogan called reset? Why would somebody campaign on a project called upgrade? If you want to reset a country, and you tell me, say, me my man know it difficult, me the background also me lose power near the identity no resetting the no me the campaign I mean we are the business as usual because this is deceit. This is
obetimi can reset say or start here, but will 4 years be enough for the reset?
Oh, they would start it anyway.
Look, Mr. President,
politicians they are they are doing it because of the next election. How to win the next election?
Beyond
2008. Yeah. Major factor ma President Kufuor hu ye hi e wo krom ha MPP lose election na yeden motor court or the buy.
Motor court.
Yes, or the motor court by ma
the fast. My part we bunko to the party.
Drivers ni catch no and na election no ye koy. Am for bu fu ye. Meanwhile, omo na ye cheche omo so no mu di boni o. Yes,
oh yeah. They were good.
While me say 4 years no, you two were pe nipa no be ba no, ono ba no. Sa de na ye you two. O meto aso.
David. Na say no ojina so dey campaign.
No ojina so dey campaign no.
No ojina so dey campaign. O catch Nkrofo say, "Go no anim say, I decongestion. What say decongestive Kumasi?" But o start decongestion now. Ono ti opposition no. And Nkrofo ti o mo nta ko mo no. And no Nkrofo jina so we are emotional voters.
All right. And I think they na make an run move never hear you.
Yes. Your problem is not voting. If you are a leader in Ghana, and easy. And easy. Everybody should stay indoors or indoors or TV. Nana requires I don't know problem. Just I know who problem. COVID, a restriction. Problem. Yeah, somebody even took him to court. Boss restriction. Yes.
Only powers to.
Because is you Africa. Say if you are not a Debbie I'm a catch and Nkrumah and Nkrumah succeeded because he was a dictator. That means he was a Constitution 58. He declared the country as a one-party state.
Yeah.
He was a dictator. PDA.
Yeah.
Go and read about PDA.
I get it.
Who dare you talk about Nkrumah?
Yeah.
Obusa Bafo Akutu.
Yeah.
No Nkrumah obi chia no prison obusa what that is na obi other prisoner. Ochia me na sem de den sa if you na ko mo ya duan bam fa nchini ngum ate so hypertension. Ya de nchini nguna duan man wi. Obe succeed.
Yeah.
Because he was a dictator. But apart from that, people praise Rawlings because somehow he started as a dictator.
Yeah.
Oh, they may say obi Africa. Why success? Gaddafi born about he was a dictator.
Kagame is a dictator.
Yes, Kagame said it's democracy pan